Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you step by step on how to make fresh egg rolls that you would find at yard sales, or if you live in a large Hmong community or Asian community, you would be able to find these for fundraising or for school projects. But today I'm going to show you how it's made. These here are the ones I want to show you that has been previously frozen. So eventually I'm going to show you how to prep and how to roll your egg rolls and how to freeze it, and then how you can take it out and refry it, and it still is crispy like the ones I am showing you right here. These are all as long as you keep the egg rolls dry, the stuffing dry, that will not crack the wrappers. So when you fry it, it will look golden brown like this. If the shell does not crack, you would have beautiful egg rolls like this. These are the ones that were previously frozen. It could hold up to about a couple weeks. After that, it does not taste as good as it was when it was freshly made. So these are options if you want to freeze it. Now, first of all, I'm going to show you that when you soak your noodles, soak it in a nice hot water. It doesn't have to be boiling, but they're nice, really nice and hot. I keep it in the net, that way I can drain my noodles. So that way it's easier. So I drain it and put it in here and let all the water leak out. Then I cut my cabbage. I have about half of a small cabbage there. Shred it like this until you finish shredding the cabbage. And then you get your other ingredients. I'm just using simple ingredients today. And then I do about 2 carrots. Peel it, wash it, and grate it, just like I am doing now. And then next I would have show you how to cut the onions after I shred the carrots. The onions, I'm just using half of an onion. I slice it thin like this, and then I turn it around and dice it to smaller pieces. I don't like big chunks in my egg rolls, and also that way you can roll your egg roll smoothly. If you have big chunks, it does not look as nice. Now these are my noodles that I already let drain and already cool off. These noodles, if they are dry like that, it's good. If it's too wet, your stuffing will be too wet and it'll be too soggy. So I put my cabbage in there, my carrots that has been shredded, and my freshly ground pork. You can use any kind of ground pork. I happen to use the sausage porks. And then I just use 1 egg. If you use too much eggs, you will have too much bubbles in your oil. I also add other ingredients such as garlic powder. I use about 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Next, I use a wonton seasoning that I often use in my cooking. So I use 1 teaspoon of that, maybe about half of a teaspoon of black pepper, because the children like it too, so I don't want to make it too spicy for the children. So I just use about half of a teaspoon. Then I put about 1 teaspoon or just about a teaspoon of salt. I also like to add soy sauce. You can use any kind of soy sauce. Soy sauce is optional. I use about a couple teaspoons of this kind of seasoning. You don't have to, but it's totally up to you. So when you add in all your seasoning, you want to mix it thoroughly. Mix everything in and make sure it's all mixed thoroughly so that you have a nice, even, smooth texture of your mixture. Your mixture has to be dry like this. It can't be liquidy. So if your noodles are not drained all the way, your mixture will be too wet, and that will cause your egg roll wrappers to crack when you try to roll them. So keep kneading your mixture like this until you get it into a nice firm sticky kind of like mixture, so that way it's easier to manage when you roll your egg rolls. Next, I'm going to show you how to make the paste that makes the egg roll stick together. It's like, it works like a glue kind of like. So I just use an all-purpose flour for my paste. You can use, some people use eggs, but for me it's easier. The wrappers, they stick together better with flour. I usually do about a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, and then I put that into a little bowl. You can use as much as you want, but I just have a small batch here, so I'm not using a lot. And I'm using like an eighth of a cup of water for it, just to make my mixture first. And if I need more water, I add about another eighth of a cup of water. You just put in what you think, that it makes it like a smoothie paste looking. So I add a little bit more water, and you don't want to add too much, otherwise you're going to add more flour. So you gradually mix that in. If you see you need more, just slowly add in more water until you get a smooth texture like I am doing now. So try to get all the lumps and bubbles out so that you have a smooth texture like this. That way it will hold your wrapper when you wrap it at the end. As you can see, I have a nice consistency of my paste here. It should look like this. So once it looks like this, then I'm ready to go. Also, I want to show you different types of Eggroll wrappers that I have here. I happen to have two sizes or two brands. This is a smaller Eggroll wrapper. They make more Eggrolls. There's like 50, and these here only 25 in there. So those are the bigger Eggroll wrappers, so that it's easier to manage. When it's in a big bowl, you tend to like reach over and in, so it tires you out. So I usually put it in a smaller bowl so that it's easier to manage. Next, I get my Eggroll wrapper I have sitting on the counter. I use this kind of wrapper. It could be any kind of frozen Eggroll wrapper. There's several different brands, different types, but make sure when you get your Eggroll wrapper, they're still like fresh. Because sometimes if you get like an overdue Eggroll wrapper, the wrappers do not peel like this. They have to peel, like you have to pull it like this in order to be able to manage it well. So if the wrappers do not pull like that, then you're going to have a rough time when you wrap your egg rolls. So try to get the freshest wrapper you can get. I get a spoonful of my mixture, put it towards the corner of my wrapper. Make sure that I just want to show you here that the texture is pretty well dry. It does not excess liquid in there. So that's the main problem as you're gonna have if you have a wet mixture. Your wrapper is gonna crack on you before you finish rolling all your egg rolls. I wrap in the corners like this, just like I'm showing you. Slowly go in, and then dab a little bit of the paste around here like that. And then continue wrapping it. As I wrap it, I pull it tightly against me. As you can see, my egg roll is like lumpy. So what you want to do is just finish it off like this. Just roll it like that so you get a nice texture, like a smooth egg roll. So everything it looks evenly. Some is not large and some is not small. So that way you get a smooth egg roll looking like. After you get the egg roll done, you just slowly peel the next layer or the next sheet, and you just continue until you finish your batch of egg roll wrappers. You don't want to put too much, just about with the size of the egg roll wrapper I have here. I just want to do small mini egg rolls. You can use the bigger brands or the bigger size egg roll wrappers. They have them several different sizes, so you can manage the way, you know, how if you want the big size or the small size. I happen to use the small size egg roll wrappers. And the main thing of keeping this intact is folding it like an envelope, and then put your paste down and roll it. And as you're rolling, you pull it towards you a little bit, and as you can see in the middle there, it's like a little lump. So that's why you want to like roll out the lump and make it really like a smooth egg roll. So when you fry it, everything fries nice and evenly. It's really fun and enjoying, relaxing. When you get the hang of rolling the egg rolls, you just want to focus on rolling it so the stuffings don't come out. So just keep yourself in the rhythm and give a little extra roll. Now as you see, that was easy. The main important thing in there so that stuffing don't come out is you don't overlap it like that. You just want to keep it even with the edges right here. So if you see right there, it's even like that, you tend to have a nicer egg roll wrap. Using the last of the egg rolls, make sure your last one seems to be a little bit smaller, but that's okay. Just roll it smaller, that's all. It just takes a little bit of practice and time. Eventually you'll get done with the pack of Eggroll wrapper that you have wrapped. If you have any leftovers, I would just say throw it away. No point in refreezing the leftover packages. It won't be good the next time. So just if you have any wrappers left, just throw it out. And here I have all the egg rolls that I have wrapped. It was nice and easy. It was not too hard. It was pretty simple once you get the hang of it. Here I'm going to show you how to freeze it. You can put them in Ziploc bags. Make sure your egg rolls is still dry. I use the small egg rolls, so I can use the quart size of the Ziploc. You can pack them any way you want. You can pack them this way or any way. Just keep them give a little bit of room on them. If you overstuff it or if you squeeze it too much in there and you don't give it room, it's not going to freeze right, and then you're going to crush your egg rolls. When you freeze it, just leave it in nicely like this in the freezer until it's frozen. Then you can move them around if you want. So another way of packing the egg rolls in the Ziploc bags is you can do it the other way, like I'm going to show you now. You can pack it any way you want, but the first way, and then this is the second way. So if you make the bigger egg rolls, you're going to use the gallon size Ziploc bags. But the small mini egg rolls, just use this size bag, would be just as good as long as it fits. If you put too much, let's say if you have a big Ziploc bags and you pack all these egg rolls in a big Ziploc bags, your egg roll is going to stick together. When they freeze, they're going to clump together. And then when you try to peel it out to freeze, I wouldn't suggest putting these in a big gallon size Ziploc. So pack them nice and free like this. That way when they freeze, they don't stick to each other. So that's why you want to give it room like I have here. So I'll show you how to package another couple more bags, and you get the point of how to package them. So here you have it. I have all the frozen ones that I want to freeze, and these are the ones that I want to fry right away to eat. But the frozen ones, I'm gonna put them in the freezer. So these here are the ones that I'm gonna make right now to cook, to eat. When you go in and fry your egg rolls, you don't want to let your oil get like super hot. Your oil should be just hot enough so that when you put your egg rolls in, they sizzle around the edges like that. If you let your oil get super hot, you will burn your egg rolls before it's even cooked. So you don't want to have your heat up too high. I have mine about between a medium high to a high. So if it gets too hot, you just have to adjust your heating as you put your egg rolls in. So just put enough in so that it fits your pot. I happen to have one extra one. I just kind of like threw it in there. It was a little bit crowded, but I'd rather have one extra one than having to do another batch with just one egg roll. So with the one here is a little bit extra, but that's all right. You don't want to mix it too much. Just let it sit in there. Just give a little bit of stir a little bit, just like I did, and let the egg rolls cook. You don't want to keep stirring, otherwise you'll break the wrappers. So the oil is nice and hot and sizzling. Just let it cook. Let it fry, and then you can turn it eventually. Every now and then, randomly turn it until you start seeing the egg rolls turn golden brown. So just pick it up a little bit like that. You don't want to like really swish it around because you'll break the shells. As you can see here, the egg rolls are starting to brown, get lightly brown at the moment, but that's all right. Give it a time. Don't rush in frying your egg rolls. Like I said, you want to control your heating. So if you have your heat on too high, you will start smelling smoke by now. So just have it at a medium high to a high so that you don't overcook your oil. So enjoying cooking egg rolls is a piece of art. Here it is. It's pretty brown, golden brown to where I want it. If you overcook your egg rolls, it will have like a burnt smell. It would not be as tasty. So when you see that they're all freshly like brownish, golden like that, then it's about time to take them out. When my egg rolls are like golden brown like this, I tend to like it like this. I don't like it overcooked. So this is golden brown the way I want it. So it's time to get them out. Just take it one by one so you can shake off the excess oil. You don't want too much oil. So you want to like shake it down like that. So here you go. I have my batch of egg rolls that I have made freshly at the moment. So I'm going to enjoy my freshly made egg rolls. These are very delicious when it's freshly made, but be very careful. It's very hot. So you can use any kind of dips on it, like duck sauce or soy sauce or hot pepper sauce. Next, I'm going to show you how to fry your frozen egg rolls. I have them frozen for a couple days now. Egg rolls tend to last maybe up to like 3 or 4 weeks in the freezer. When you want to take it out, just put them in the hot oil just like you would with French fries. Also your oil, you don't want to get super hot. Just get it like so that it's nice and hot, so it sizzles. So I have my oil heating already, about a medium to a high there. So then I'll take out my egg rolls. They're frozen. And then once I take them out, they look like this. You'll see all the frozen, you can see that it's been frozen because all the frost in there. And so you see how it's not sticking together because I gave it room when I put it in there and let it froze like that. So once you're ready to fry it, you just take it out individually and fry it. As you can see here, the wrappers are still nice and intact, and it's not cracked. The shells are still nice and intact, and it's really hard and firm like that, so that it's ready to fry. So as you see, there's no cracks on there. So when you have cracked egg roll shells and you deep fry it, you will have ugly looking egg rolls. It would not look as nice. So now I'm gonna fry it. I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna fry it. Like I said, you don't want your oil to be super hot where you put your egg roll and then it just over fries it. So take your packet and put it in. Well, just do it slowly and be very careful because your egg rolls are frozen. The oil is hot, so you want to be very careful. Don't let your oil overheat. When you put your egg rolls in, as you will see that when I put my egg rolls in, it looks like my oil is not hot enough, but remember, your egg rolls are frozen. So you want to give it some time for the egg rolls to like a little bit defrost or a little bit thaw out in the oil. So that way when you put in your egg rolls, it will only sizzle a little bit. And as you can see, they're really hard. When you drop your egg rolls, it's really hard, rocky sound like this. So it's okay to put frozen egg rolls in, but just be very careful. Main thing is don't let your oil get too hot. It will gradually get hot as you put your frozen egg rolls in. It will cool the oil down, but eventually it will heat up again. I can feel a heat on my oil. So I'm going to gradually put in my frozen egg rolls in. As you can see, it looks from, if you're not familiar with this kind of frozen egg rolls frying, it looks like my oil is not hot enough. But you can see it sizzling. Also, when I freeze my egg rolls, I only freeze about 5 or 6 egg rolls because my family is very small now. It's just my husband and myself, so we don't make too much egg rolls. So I freeze it and just keep a pack or two when I fry it. So that's why I keep them in a small quantity when I freeze it. That's why you only see about 6 egg rolls. Sometimes I'll use 2 packs, sometimes I'll just use 1. So it depends on how much egg rolls you want to cook. That's how many packs you want to take out. As you see that it's starting to cook, you want to make sure the oil is hot but not super hot. So it's very important that you pay careful attention to your oil. As you see here, as it's heating up, your egg rolls are actually thawing. So you don't want to let your egg rolls thaw first on the counter and then fry, because your wrappers will crack on you, because letting thaw out, the ingredients get wet again and then they will crack on you. So you should fry your egg rolls when it's frozen. My egg rolls have been turned to the color that I want it to be. It usually takes about a good 10 minutes to fry your egg rolls, so you don't want to fry it too long. It's just about 9 or 10 minutes until it's golden brown like this. I did not really look at the time, but I felt it was about 9 or 10 minutes. When it's golden brown and then it's cooked, because they're very tiny egg rolls, it does not take that long to cook. So I have it to the color that I want. So I'm ready to take it out and have it for our supper tonight. If you like my channel, please like and subscribe for more videos to come. And here you go. These are my egg rolls that have been previously frozen. They look just as good and fresh as it was when I freshly made them. Thank you for watching.